Kamara Drive-In. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year, Alvin Kamara, fresh off a big performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gunn and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the New Orleans Saints. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001. And that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the one being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Brees now on first down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch it out of the backfield as well.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
And I enjoy watching KK Short work inside as a defensive tackle. 24.5 sacks from that spot over the last 3 seasons. That puts him in the company of guys like Geno Atkins, Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox. When you want an inside pass rusher, think about KK Short.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Shotgun now for Brees. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. On first down, Brees toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that out of production.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right...
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
On second down, here's Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And Christian McCaffrey, one of my favorite players in the 2017 draft, he didn't disappoint. At 80 catches as a rookie, look for him to be more actively involved in the running game in 2018. Yes, he can run between the tackles.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Newton now to throw. Got a man. It's the rookie from Maryland, DJ Moore. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On 1st down, it's Newton. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. To give him a couple on the catch, it's 2nd and 8. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
And Manti Te'o started to reclaim his form as a middle linebacker in 2017 after 4 seasons with the Chargers out on the West Coast. An excellent run stopper, understands the passing game really well, and down the stretch, made big play after big play to help the Saints to the playoffs.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's the linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Anderson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun, Newton. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And Gano's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the #1 or #2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. The numbers from a week ago for Funchess. 3 catches, 98 yards, and a score.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point try, good by Gano. And the lead is now 10-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. It's a big play there for the Saints. 61 yards. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, You can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skills showing the power, but just not much room to operate. Well, that second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. One quarter down here on a frigid December night. 10-7 our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Breeze now to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Julius Peppers in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will knot us up at 10. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. You know, Charles, season winding down. Time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, Newton to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep for the Panthers, Ted Ginn. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is McCaffrey on the give. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Greg Olsen was the intended target. And it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw on third down. Newton, incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Michael Pilardi now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there. Second down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And the Panthers coming out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? To throw is Newton. And this one is incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
We're waiting.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And Gibbs got it. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Ready. We're waiting.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
Back to the running game. It's Ingram. And a short gain down to about the 33. On the tackle, it's Captain Munnerlyn.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And that'll set him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He dumps it down to Ingram. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away. Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now a run with Anderson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Newton is going to float this one deep right side. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they tell their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Breeze now on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Ready?
Shotgun now for Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. To throw is Breeze. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Ready?
Breeze now on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Ready?
Here's Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. That's caught. It's Thomas. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where you see the final score there. LaShawn McCoy, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. Next, we head off to check out another game. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. Tom Brady, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were losers in that one, to the visiting LA Chargers. 24-8, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Here's Newton. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Newton now to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he shifts past him. And now running right through him. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Ready. You waiting?
Breeze going to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. K1 short. Coming up the middle. Gets him there for a loss of about 9.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Ready. You waiting? Return.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So they wind up throwing it against your advice, but the result's still a 4th down.
Well, it did turn out to be a safe throw. And you know how sometimes coaches talk about using short passing game as a run? Essentially, that's what they did there. Now they can kick it away.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. This is taken at the 15. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He'll buy some time right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Newton. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On first down, Breeze. And his pass incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Ready. You waiting?
And the blitz does come. He is going to find Hill here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, it's Breeze. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A gain of 6 there on first.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Breeze to throw again. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Mario Addison in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And Ginn's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Saints have moved out in front.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Funchess with a catch over the middle. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
To throw on second down is Newton. And this is incomplete. Macklin, the man he was looking for, and it's 3rd and 4.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Breeze now on 1st down. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. The busy night continues for Kamara. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now 2nd down. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just about on his own goal line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. Carolina getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st down. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Out of the gun, Newton. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd and 5.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
At 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Newton. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And Thomas has it. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Operating from the gun, Newton, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. Here's Ginn. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Waiting.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
When Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. It's brought in by Floyd. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A give. This is Kamara. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing now is Breeze. Looking sideline, incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd. And now it's 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they're going to have a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. That's out to Hill, right side, complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Lutz's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On 1st down, it's Newton. He's going to go deep for into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or 2, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Dontari Poe in on the stop. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On the ground, this is Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On third down, here's Kamara. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Carolina. As this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Newton to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for New Orleans, the win will be number 11 for them on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Charlotte, good night, everybody.